Hey guys, Dr. J here. In the previous episode, we completed Worlds 3-1, defeated the Fool's Idol and freed Sage Frake. He taught us the Soul Ray spell, which we'll be using alongside our trusty Soul Arrow. Today, we'll continue our journey in World 3. After we defeated the Fool's Idol, we got kidnapped by some gargoyles and left at the top of a tower. This next level is not bad, but I don't really like it either. For the most part, we'll be climbing towers, and the paths will be very narrow, making it easy to fall down and die. That shouldn't be much of an issue, since there aren't that many enemies in the level, and we don't really have to worry too much about dodging them. But once we go down on the ground level, in the swamp, that's where it gets a little bit more annoying. But we'll be down there just for a short while. Anyways, I'll talk more about it once we get there. Okay, there's only one way we can go from the beginning, so let's head down these stairs. We have some gargoyle statues here as well. Let's go past this brazier and down the stairs on the right. Okay, this gargoyle statue looks a bit different. Yep, that was an actual gargoyle who was just pretending to be a statue. There aren't many of them here, and you can easily recognize them by their eyes. There are quite a few fresh spies behind this brazier. And we can now continue across this bridge. There is another gargoyle hovering up above, waiting to ambush us. It's clearly visible to us now, but I think that's maybe because I'm using the depth of field removal mod. I don't remember seeing them while they're hovering like that when I played it on my PS3. Anyway, once we enter the tower, we can continue up the stairs on the left or go right. We'll go right first to pick up some items. There are some old spice hidden behind these jars. Now we can go through this opening and grab an upgrade material from the end of this broken bridge. When we turn around to return, we'll see some more jars to the left of the entrance. There is another item behind them, as well as a staircase. We should pick up the itemized soul and go down the stairs. By the way, the ambience sounds like a beating heart. Isn't that weird? Since it looks like we are powerful enough to two-shot the gargoyles even with our soul arrow, I decided to use it instead of the soul ray, just because it's more mana efficient. There is an item behind these jars as well. There was another doorway here, but we're going to skip it for now. Let's go across this bridge instead. The gargoyle up ahead has a crossbow. If we are lucky, we'll have enough time to dodge his bolt. We weren't lucky. Let's heal up, grab the item he dropped, and continue towards the brazier. All gargoyles drop an itemized soul. The melee ones have a small chance of dropping a spiral rapier as well, and similarly, the ones wielding crossbows have a small chance of dropping a gargoyle crossbow. Now we have to go all the way back to the upper floor of the tower. And while we do so, let's talk about the gargoyles. I told you before that, when he conquered Latria, the exiled king started siphoning people's souls. He used the souls of the warriors and infused them in the statues to bring them to life. Being able to fly makes them pretty good guards, here, high above the ground. That being said, as long as you don't get ambushed by them, they're not difficult to kill. It's time we go up the stairs I mentioned when we entered the tower. So, the reason I don't really enjoy this level is because it's very difficult to figure out what we need to do here. I mean, the previous one was a bit confusing as well, but apart from the boss fight, it felt reasonable. I'll pause my rant for a bit, since we need to do something once we reach the top of the stairs. We need to turn left and get near the edge here. It's best if we destroy the jar to make it a little bit easier. Now, there is a ledge below us and we'll need to drop on it. It looks scary, but it's a fairly safe drop. We can grab the rune sword and rune shield from here. Then we just drop down and then go all the way up the stairs again. So now that we have the flooded armor set, the rune sword and rune shield, we can totally cosplay as Ostrava. Which had me thinking, Ostrava must have been here in the past. Latria is a kingdom of scholars, so as the crown prince, he was probably spending time here, learning. Maybe that's why he couldn't stop his father from unleashing the Old One. Anyway, we're back at the top, so let's take a breather and restore our health. Then we should go across this bridge. There is going to be another gargoyle hovering above, waiting to ambush us. Like I said, as long as you don't panic, they're super easy to kill. There's going to be one more up these stairs. This time it's a crossbow-wielding gargoyle. And this time we managed to dodge his bolt, nice. We can now go right of the brazier and onto this support column. There is a flamberge here we can pick up, and we also have a good view at the source of this sound we've been hearing constantly. It's actually a real gigantic living heart. Now, I've been a bit harsh about the design of this level, saying they don't give us any directions, but to be fair, seeing this heart is a pretty big hint. The fog gates are also a good indicator of where we need to go next, and in front of us is the first in this level. There will of course be a couple of gargoyles we'll need to kill on the way there. Now one will drop down from above. There is an item on the ledge on the right. We will pick that one up, but first we need to pass through the fog gate. While it's still active, its hitbox extends beyond the ledge, and would fall if we try to step on it. We are getting a lot of old spice in this level, which is very good, since they're really the mana replenishing item to use in a boss fight. The fresh spice are just not good enough, since we usually want to top up from a single use. That holds true for health restoratives as well. The reason I was not running up these stairs is because of this gargoyle. Okay, now we need to continue going up the stairs and hopefully we reach the elevator in time. Of course we're going to just miss it. Well, thankfully waiting for this one won't take too long. Let's restore our mana while we're waiting. Okay, I hear the elevator coming down. Here it is. Now, we're actually not going to be taking it all the way up. We need to go on the other side, so we can grab a stone of ephemeral ice, hidden behind some jars again. This time we are getting on the elevator and going all the way up. Like I said, it won't take long, but once we reach the top, we need to be prepared for another ambush. This gargoyle will first fly back a bit before charging at us. We have plenty of time to deal with him. Unfortunately, I couldn't grab the soul. Whatever, let's continue climbing the stairs. This is the top of the tower. There are a few prisoners here performing some kind of ritual. Now, to be fair, most people would probably just kill them the first time they see them. But if we've reached this place, it means we found out about the prisoner in the church keeping the fool's idol alive. So it's not too hard to figure out what they're doing. But I still would have preferred if there was some hint about needing to kill these guys. Anyway, after this cutscene, our goal has become clear. We need to cut the chains supporting the giant heart. I'm coming over here just to bring your attention to this place. We'll need to come back here in the future. Currently, we can't cross this gap and get on the staircase. But if we came back here when we're in pure white world tendency, there will be a plank bridging the gap. Anyway, we're done with this tower, and we now have to find a way to get to the other tower anchoring the chains supporting the heart. There is some more fresh spice here, and we can use these cages to go down on the ground. We won't use these ones, however, and instead continue on to the next platform, where we'll meet a new NPC. The light stones make it pretty obvious that there's something interesting there. Before we talk to him, let's pick up this shard of Arkstone. I'm not sure, but this might be the first one we found so far.
Are you here to fight the demons? If so, then help me escape this place. I am on your side. I have come to face the demons.
Well, we've no reason to mistrust him, right? We've just met the guy after all. And he's got a really cool looking armor set and weapon. In fact, I like them so much, I think I'll just kill him and get them for myself. You can't lock on to friendly NPCs, so we had to first turn him hostile.
Well, what have we here? Do you wish to die so soon?
Okay, finally.
Why you?
Nice, we can now loot his armor. After we do so, we can get inside his cage and descend to the ground. Okay, so we are not actually psychopaths. There was a good reason we killed him. If we leave him be, he'll find his way to the Nexus and start killing off the NPCs there. He's called Yurt, the Silent Chief, and he is an assassin hired by someone to kill all that have knowledge of the soul arts. I will talk more about this later, but back to my rants. How is one supposed to figure out that we need to enter the cage to use it as an elevator? Seriously, most people probably thought this was a dead end and used the Shard of Arkstone to go back to the Nexus. Anyway, now that we are here, we should go this way first. The tentacles won't hurt us, so don't worry about them. They can block our way though. We don't need this fragrant ring, we already have one, but it's not like we're making a huge detour or anything. And here's the second prisoner horde in the game. This one is slightly tougher, but otherwise nothing's changed. It's best to come over here so we have good cover and start firing off spells. I wanna try the Soul Ray to see how much damage it will do, but we'll probably use the Soul Arrow to kill it. Yeah, it's definitely not worth it. It's exactly twice the damage for 3 times the mana cost. It's only worth using the Soul Ray when you can save a cast compared to the Soul Arrow. Or in boss fights, of course. Oh, actually there's one more benefit. The Soul Ray can pierce through the enemies, so if there's one behind your target, it will hit him for the full damage of the spell, which is really nice in certain situations. Good. Now let's restore our mana and then grab those items. It's just some more upgrade materials. Next, we should turn around and grab another upgrade material that's next to this tentacle. And we're done with the swamp section. Now we need to find a way to get on the wooden platform, or whatever that's called. These cages are the ones we would have taken if we didn't go meet Yurt. And here are some stairs we can use to get up on the platform, as well as a new type of enemy, the Mantipede. There are 2 types of Mantipede, a normal and a giant Mantipede. Both of them have short range attacks, but the giants can also jump at you, which is actually relatively dangerous and somewhat difficult to dodge. We can kill the normal Mantipede with a single cast of Soul Ray, but for the giant ones we'll need to use a Soul Arrow as well. There is a very small chance of them dropping a pure Mercury Stone, but that's not something we should rely on. There is a place we are guaranteed to get one later on in the game anyway. The Mantipedes were probably created with the remains of the prisoners after having their souls sucked. They likely have also some kind of role in maintaining the giant heart we are trying to destroy. You'll soon see why I think so. If we continue forward and get off the wooden platform, we'll soon reach the second fog gate. But there's one more place I'd like to visit while we're here. Nice, I wasn't actually sure if we'll be able to hit this one. Here's another stair we can use to get on the platform. The item I'm going to collect is just a ring of disease resistance. We already have one, so if you want to, feel free to skip it. But I like to be thorough, and just like the fragrant ring, it really won't take us that much time to collect it. Okay, we are nearly there. We just need to kill these 2 giant Mantipedes. I was hoping it hit both of them, but it looks like the angle was bad. We got the ring of disease resistance and can now go back and then leave the swamp for good. There is a stone of ephemeral ice in front of us, and after we pick it up, we'll have to go to another wooden platform for a short while before reaching the fog gate. And this is another itemized saw. We can already see the fog gate up above. There are just a few mentipedes standing between us. Here is a couple more of them. And that's why I hate 4-directional dodge rolling. I should have just let myself get hit, I suppose. Well, now we're going to have to waste a bit of time making our way back. Fortunately, it really won't take too long. Here are some stairs we can use to get back on the platform. That's the wrong way. There we go. Like I promised, we didn't waste too much time. Maybe I should just keep using the saw arrow. It's powerful enough to two-shot the giant mentipedes on its own. Yeah, definitely much better. We'll save a bit of fresh spice this way. There are a couple of items we should collect before going through the fog gate. Nice! It's been a while since we last found any good health restoratives. After we go through the fog gate, we'll be more than halfway through the level already. We should turn left and start running up the slope. We'll have to keep running for a while without anything happening. Nice, the tentacle didn't block us. And now we'll have to go up these stairs. There is going to be a Black Venom Mind Flayer, so we should be ready to attack him immediately. Well, it looks like they don't get interrupted when taking damage. Thankfully, he barely didn't kill us, but that could have been a really silly death. It's best to try to attack while they have their backs turned, since it only takes 2 casts of Soul Ray to kill them, and they won't have time to turn around after the first one hits them. There are going to be several mentipedes laying in ambush here, so we'll have to be careful. I will try to bait an attack and then kill it. Okay, perfect. He didn't drop anything. Now let's deal with these two. There is a normal mantipede behind the giant one. And for whatever reason, I can't lock onto it. Probably the hitbox of the giant mantipede didn't get removed immediately. There's one more giant mantipede behind these two tentacles. Doesn't look like he aggroed on us yet. Let's kill the one next to the crystal lizard first, and then try to kill the crystal lizard as well. Didn't mean to use the soul ray to kill the mantipede, but whatever. Okay, it aggroed, so let's deal with it now. At least we don't have to worry about it now, and can try to kill the crystal lizard in peace. Great, wasted a soul ray. Good. Killing the crystal lizard isn't all that important, but it's nice we got it anyway. Now let's go back and pick up the item between the tentacles. We're drowning in old spice, which is good. And we even got some more fresh spice. Okay, we've almost reached the second tower where the heart's chain is anchored. There's going to be a flying gargoyle on our right, waiting to ambush us. And another one pretending to be a statue. Damn, he's fast. I don't know why it does that, but it always flies off towards the tower when attacked. Okay, he's dead. One more left before we reach the tower. Good. Now let's pick up the itemized soul, go left and break these jars. There is another itemized saw here. And then we'll have to hope we'll get to the elevator in time. Looks like we've missed it. We're going to have to wait here for a while. This one takes quite a bit more time to get to the top than the previous one. I may have to fast forward this, depending on how long it takes. Oh, it didn't take too long. When we reach the top, there's going to be another gargoyle waiting to ambush us. There are quite a lot of gargoyles guarding the second tower. Here it is. And we can now go to the top and disrupt the ritual like we did at the previous tower. Before we kill them though, let's go to the bridge and deal with the gargoyle there. Okay, that was interesting. Good. We didn't have to kill him now, but it just feels better to deal with him now rather than later. I guess it will be faster if we just backstab them. It wasn't really any faster, but whatever. This is why I said that the mantipedes probably have something to do with maintaining the heart. Now that we've caused the heart to crash down, we'll have to go back to the first tower. Fortunately, there is a shortcut we can use and won't have to go back to the swamp. We just need to cross this bridge, there's nothing else to do in this tower. And when we reach the end, drop down and we'll be at the beginning of the level. Shouldn't forget to pick up the 2 itemized souls, of course. We can actually see the Arkstone in the distance, over there on the right. So we should go left and go down these stairs again. Keep in mind that, although the gargoyles haven't respawned, we'll now have to deal with all the mantipedes that have crawled out of the giant heart. There aren't too many of them, thankfully. After we enter the tower, we should go right again, and then go down to the lower level, and then enter the tower again, through the doorway we skipped previously. There wasn't anything interesting there before, but now that the heart has crashed, we can pick up a few items. There is a mantipede on the bridge here, and there will be one more on the stairs going down. We have one more mantipede on this bridge as well, and another hiding just inside the doorway on our right. Our lock-on can't quite reach it, so let's first bait the one inside the doorway into attacking us. Wow, I didn't expect him to clip through the wall. Now let's go and kill the one on the bridge. We don't have to, he's too far away to aggro on us, but let's just do it anyway. Okay, let's replenish our mana and then go through the doorway. After we enter, we should go right and move around the crashed heart in an anti-clockwise fashion. This will put us behind most of the mantipedes we'll find there. This is the most important reason for coming down here. Let's start with the Epi Rapier. It does both physical and fire damage, and scales very well with dexterity and exceptionally well with magic. It's also required for a trophy, so we had to get it anyway. But the rapier and the mask are also important for another reason. Their descriptions contain very important clues to the story. The other important item we had to collect was the Ring of Avarice. We can now go back to the upper floor of the tower and start climbing the stairs. Now that the giant heart isn't blocking our way, we can go all the way to the top. And while we do so, let me tell you what the descriptions of the mask and rapier say. Let's start with the rapier. A ceremonial rapier with intricate golden designs. It is a weapon favored by those of a masked society who meet in secret to discuss the harnessing of souls. It is imbued with a strong magical flame, which is one reason why these vicious people are feared. And now the mask. A gold mask inlaid with a delicate design. Even among the masked society that seeks to harness the power of souls, only those of a particularly high rank may wear it. We've now learned that there is a secret society seeking the power of the soul arts. And this is going to be somewhat of a spoiler, since it will be quite a while before we learn that, but Yurt, the Silent Chief, was hired by them to come here. We don't know the exact reason for that, but it looks like there were members of that secret society in Latria, and it's likely he was sent here to either save them or silence them. Before I continue, there is a Black Phantom Mind Flayer on these stairs we must be very careful with, since we have no room for dodging here. Fortunately, it looks like we'll be able to surprise him. Perfect. Okay, we reached the boss room, so I'll continue talking about the secret society in the next episode. It will be more appropriate to do so after we deal with the final boss in World 3 anyway. I've switched to the Old Spice, since this boss fight is probably going to be the hardest one for our class. There is a cheese we could use if we had high dexterity and a good bow, but it would still make the fight only a little bit easier. We'll have to fight this boss more or less fair and square, unlike most of the previous ones. There is a large amount of Old Spice at the end of this path, so I'll go grab them first. One nice thing about the boss is that even if we die, we don't have to travel all that much before we can challenge him again, so don't worry too much about it. It's a genuinely difficult fight, so there's no shame in dying here. Of course, I will share a strategy that, while it won't make the boss fight completely free, will still make it much easier. So after we start the fight, we should immediately start running at the Maneater, and when we are in range of the lock-on, start spamming Soul Ray and walking backwards. Eventually, he'll charge at us. Don't worry, it doesn't hurt that much. Once he does that, we should release the lock-on and run towards the big brazier in the middle of the bridge. I was pushing my luck a bit, but I really wanted to make sure I kill him before the second Maneater arrives. Now that we're here, we're pretty safe. We should still keep an eye out for him and make sure we're keeping the brazier between us, but as long as we kill him before the second one appears, we'll be fine. Okay, well, the fight is pretty much over now. It will take a while until we kill the second one, but there's very little chance of us dying. The second Maneater really likes to fly around the bridge, so we'll have to wait for him to get in range. Let's talk about their attacks. They have several melee attacks while on the ground, as well as a long-range attack that kinda looks like the AoE of the Mind Flayers. He can also pounce at you, which is probably the most difficult one to dodge. The other unique feature of this boss, besides the fact that you're fighting two of them, is that he has two lock-on points. The other one is his snake tail. His tail can be destroyed separately from his main body, and it has its own attacks. Actually, it only has one attack, the triple homing soul arrows, but it can also provide a power boost to the main body, increasing his damage for 30 seconds. If you're using the brazier for cover, don't worry about destroying the tail. We'll gain nothing by doing that. Other than that, there's not much to tell you about this fight. The brazier will block all of the attacks, as long as he's not standing directly in front of us, and that will give us plenty of time to heal up or restore our mana. There we go. Like I said, it's probably the most difficult boss fight we're going to have, but it's still nothing we should be too worried about. I'm going to collect a few items, and while I'm doing so, I'll talk a bit about the origin of the Maneater. The Maneaters are creations of the exiled king, made by fusing probably a lion, a human, a bat and a snake. Their purpose is to guard the approach to the throne room. And that's pretty much it. There are various theories about the exact methods of their creation, but I don't think that matters too much. There is a bunch of full moon grass here we can collect, and at the end of the bridge is the Arkstone, as well as another corpse with a couple of items. This is the only corpse that has 2 souls inside of it. It's been theorized that it was a failed attempt of creating a 3rd Maneater. I'm not sure I agree with this, but it is possible. If we go up these stairs, we reach the throne room and the 3rd and final boss in Latria. I won't be returning to the Nexus, since, just like World 2, there's not much to do before reaching the boss, so I'd rather just get it over with. I will leave this for the next episode though. I think this is a good place to end the episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider pressing the like button and subscribing to my channel. It will help me a lot and encourage me to bring more content for you guys. I'm releasing new videos daily, so hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow, when we'll continue our journey through the world of Demon Souls.